Emotional regulation is an essential skill in life, and I've put in significant effort to improve mine. Throughout this process, I've come across some important insights that have been instrumental in my progress. Here's the valuable information that's helped me along the way. This video aims to explore the mechanisms behind emotional regulation, the factors influencing it, and its applications in various domains such as mental health, education, and social behavior. Emotional regulation is often defined as the process by which individuals monitor, evaluate, and modify their emotional reactions to achieve specific goals. Several theories and models of emotional regulation have emerged, but two primary frameworks guide much of the research. One of the most influential models in emotional regulation research is James Gross's process model. Gross proposes that emotional regulation occurs in 5 distinct stages: situation selection, which involves choosing situations that are likely to produce desirable emotional outcomes; situation modification, where one changes a situation to modify its emotional impact; attention deployment, which is about directing attention away from or toward emotional stimuli; cognitive change, which involves reinterpreting a situation to alter its emotional significance, for example, reappraisal; and lastly, response modulation, which is directly modifying emotional responses such as suppressing emotional expression. Gross emphasizes that emotional regulation can occur at any of these stages, and different strategies can have varying effects on both the experience and expression of emotion. Another prominent theory states that emotional regulation is a skill that develops throughout the lifespan. From infancy through adulthood, individuals learn to manage their emotional responses more effectively. This model highlights the role of socialization, particularly the influence of caregivers, in shaping emotion regulation abilities. Thompson emphasizes that emotional regulation is not a single ability, but a collection of skills that are honed over time. Emotional regulation involves several cognitive and behavioral processes. Some of the key mechanisms include cognitive reappraisal, which refers to the process of changing how one thinks about a potentially emotion-eliciting situation to alter its emotional impact. For example, viewing a stressful work situation as an opportunity for growth rather than a threat can reduce anxiety and increase motivation. Research suggests that reappraisal is associated with better emotional well-being and lower levels of stress. Emotional suppression involves inhibiting the outward expression of emotion. Although this strategy can sometimes prevent immediate emotional outbursts, it often leads to negative long-term consequences, such as increased physiological arousal, reduced interpersonal communication, and emotional exhaustion. Studies indicate that suppression is less effective than reappraisal and can result in lower life satisfaction over time. Mindfulness, or the practice of being present and fully engaged in the moment, has been shown to enhance emotional regulation. By cultivating awareness of one's emotions without judgment, individuals can better recognize and respond to their emotions in constructive ways. Mindfulness practices are particularly effective for managing emotions like anxiety, anger, and sadness. Social support plays a crucial role in emotional regulation, as individuals often rely on others to help them process and manage their emotions. Positive social interactions can buffer the effects of stress and provide opportunities for emotional validation. Research supports that having a strong social network promotes adaptive emotional regulation and resilience in the face of adversity. Several factors can influence how well individuals are able to regulate their emotions. Traits such as emotional stability, extroversion, and agreeableness have been linked to more effective emotional regulation. For instance, individuals who score high on emotional stability tend to use more adaptive regulation strategies and experience fewer mood disturbances. The quality of early caregiver relationships is a critical determinant of emotion regulation abilities. Children who receive consistent emotional support and positive reinforcement from caregivers are better equipped to manage their emotions in later life. Conversely, those who experience neglect or inconsistent caregiving may develop maladaptive emotional regulation strategies. Cultural norms and values significantly shape emotional regulation strategies. For example, collectivist cultures often emphasize emotional restraint and harmony, while individualist cultures may encourage the expression of emotions. These cultural differences affect both how emotions are regulated and how emotional experiences are interpreted. The brain plays a central role in emotional regulation. Research has shown that regions such as the prefrontal cortex, which is involved in cognitive control and decision-making, and the amygdala, responsible for emotional processing, work together to regulate emotions. Disruptions in these areas may contribute to difficulties in emotional regulation, which are often observed in various mental health conditions. Emotional regulation has profound effects on multiple domains of functioning. Effective emotional regulation is associated with lower levels of depression, anxiety, and other mental health disorders. Conversely, poor emotional regulation is often linked to emotional dysregulation, which is a hallmark feature of various psychiatric disorders such as borderline personality disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, and major depressive disorder. Emotion regulation skills are essential for maintaining healthy social relationships. People who can regulate their emotions are more likely to engage in positive social interactions, resolve conflicts constructively, and communicate effectively with others. Poor regulation, on the other hand, can lead to interpersonal difficulties, including misunderstandings, aggression, and emotional withdrawal. Emotion regulation is vital for coping with stress. Individuals who can manage their emotions are better equipped to handle stressful situations without becoming overwhelmed. Adaptive regulation strategies, such as cognitive reappraisal and seeking social support, can enhance resilience and contribute to a greater sense of control over one's environment. Emotional regulation has been found to correlate with academic and occupational success. Individuals who can regulate their emotions effectively tend to perform better in high-stress environments such as exams or work-related tasks. Furthermore, emotional regulation contributes to self-discipline, goal setting, and time management, critical components of success in academic and professional settings. Emotional regulation strategies are central to many therapeutic approaches, including cognitive behavioral therapy, dialectical behavior therapy, and mindfulness-based stress reduction. These therapies focus on teaching individuals how to identify and implement effective emotion regulation strategies to reduce distress and improve overall well-being. Emotional regulation skills are increasingly recognized as essential components of social-emotional learning in schools. Programs designed to teach children and adolescents how to manage their emotions have shown positive effects on academic performance, peer relationships, and overall mental health. Teaching emotional regulation early in life can help foster resilience and emotional intelligence. Emotional regulation plays a critical role in maintaining mental health and productivity in the workplace. Programs focused on building emotional intelligence and resilience can enhance team dynamics, reduce burnout, and improve job satisfaction. Organizations that prioritize emotional well-being are likely to have more engaged and productive employees. Emotional regulation is a vital skill that influences multiple aspects of human functioning, from mental health to social interactions and professional success. Understanding the mechanisms, factors, and outcomes associated with emotional regulation can help individuals improve their emotional well-being and adapt more effectively to life's challenges. Further research into the neurobiological underpinnings of emotional regulation, as well as the development of targeted interventions, will continue to enhance our understanding and practical applications of this essential skill.